Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we got today is I have a little bit of commentary that I wanted to make on a clip that I saw on Lapeef. And this is a conversation that Mr. Let Go was having. And I just want to kind of go over that conversation a little bit. They began to talk about women holding other women accountable. And then they went into women, whether or not women are threats, whether or not all of this other stuff that I wanted to comment on. And I thought it was interesting because shout out to Mr. Let Go. I don't really have a problem with him, but some of the stuff that he says is questionable to me. And it's questionable to me in the sense that I don't like when women are relieved of their own accountability as adults. I got my comments on that. So let me go ahead. Let me share my screen. And we're going to talk about it. So it starts right here.
Or a jab like everyone else, and you jabbed her in person, it would have been a physical response, is all I'm saying. So we can't just make it seem like you can just hold women accountable. Men can't just go up to young men, hey, pull your pants up, young man. He might be big in your whole face.
Like they do. Men
the hell
do
we
that.
can. What are you talking about? Men.
They do.
You can, but
everything goes on the man.
Be able to be
everything is our fault, Lucky. Everything is our fault. We have a responsibility to hold everybody accountable. Old people, young people, women, cats, dogs, period. Is our job. So no, Bruiser, can't no woman hold another woman accountable. It's our jobs to hold women accountable. That's why I kept unmuting, telling her to shut up. I gave it a try. I tried to be nice. You know what I'm saying? I did everything I could on my end to hold her accountable so she could stay on the panel. I didn't kick her off, but I voted to kick her off after I tried. But I did try.
So black women can bring down the community, but they can't uplift the community.
I believe that woman could check another woman. Now, depending on what's going on. Like, so for this...
Let me pause it right here. Bruiser had a perfectly valid question in lieu of this conversation. So black women can bring the community down, but they can't uplift it. So we can break it, but we're not responsible to fix it. We can destroy it. We're grown enough to do that. We're adult enough to destroy what's going on. We've got enough cognitive resource to destroy things around us. But we don't have enough cognitive resources. We don't have enough cognitive ability. We don't have enough accountability as an adult, as a functioning adult human being, to then be told that, okay, you broke it, so now you have a part in fixing it. And these are the things that you have to do in order to repair that which you broke, or that which you participate in breaking, or that which you agree with breaking. See, this is problematic. The type of thinking that Mr. Let Go is espousing here in this moment on this panel is extremely problematic. And it is the type of thinking that has led to black women feeling like they don't have to be held accountable. Nobody can. It's led to the who gonna check me boo type of mentality. That's what it has led to. That's where we're at with that. We are on the who gonna check me boo type of time. And when you alleviate women of the responsibility of being adults, that means if you're saying she can't be held accountable, then you can't complain. That's the long and short of that. If women can't be held accountable, and if women are not able to hold other women accountable in any way, shape, or form, then Black men gotta not complain then, right? See, can't have it both ways. Can't have it both ways. It's got to be one or the other. If we're saying that Black women are responsible for XYZ that has gone on in the Black community and they have contributed negatively for decades now to the destruction of the Black community as we know it, to the destruction of the nuclear family, to the destruction of all of these different connections that we need to be having as a community. They have contributed negatively to our progress, meaning that we have not been able to progress as a group. We have regressed, if anything. So if we're putting the onus on Black women as a group and saying, okay, as a collective group, this is how you have contributed negatively to what's going on, how can you then fix your mouth to say, well, even though you've contributed negatively and you've done all of these things consciously, all of this has not been some subconscious, brainwash that you've been doing. You've been consciously doing certain things. Despite that fact, we're not going to hold you accountable. In fact, you can't be held accountable. So it's up to the men to constantly clean up behind the mess that you make. And you're free to make these messes without check. See, it frustrates me to hear certain stuff. It frustrates me to hear certain stuff because I am a Black woman that is holding primarily the collective of Black women's feet to the fire on how we as a group have contributed negatively to our overall race in this country. The mindsets that we've bought into, the things that we think are okay, the things that we promote, the things that we don't promote, the destructive mentality, all of these different things are called to the carpet, all of the ways in which we put our hands in the pot to destroy. And the reason I'm comfortable doing that is because I know that Black women are grown. See, we can talk about a woman's childlike perspective in some ways. That conversation has its limit, though. What we're not going to do is extend it beyond where it goes, because even children are accountable. Children got to be held accountable. After a certain age, you hold children accountable for the stuff that they do. You don't hold them accountable at 2-3 years old because they really don't know what's going on. By the time they hit 8, 9, 10, they're accountable. They're accountable for coming in with the homework. They're accountable for whatever little chores you got them doing, or whatever. And if they don't do them, if they consistently don't do them, or they consistently disobey, then the child has to be held accountable because what's going on with you? I know you're intelligent enough to have understood what the expectation was and what the standard was. So why are you not meeting it? What's the blocker? What's going on that you are not meeting these things? Why are you not doing what I have instructed you to do? So even children get held accountable. So I'm really not with this no accountability type situation. That defeats the entire purpose. That defeats the entire purpose. We are either holding grown folks accountable or we not. If we not holding nobody accountable for nothing, all of us need to get off the internet ASAP. Find something else to do.
Situation, a drunk lady. I mean, there's really nothing to check because she's drunk. I'm not gonna say shit for what. I'm ready for her to leave, but I can't. So I'm respecting JR.
Come on.
That situation. But at the same time, like I said, if she comes back on here being sober, which I hope she does one day, then I could tell her about herself. And that's that. So we could wait.
Thank you, Lady Dove.
See about that.
She'll be sober in like 20 minutes. So we'll
yeah, okay.
Mr. Lego, instigating likes.
Can women hold men accountable?
Hell no.
No.
Unless she's your woman and she can whisper in your ear and say, babe, calm
Come
down.
on, y'all.
Like that, but not
Come on, y'all. We see it every single day.
You're capping right now.
We see it every single day. Women have
doing it right now
about themselves. They will tell you about how you ain't nothing, how you a pookie, how you this, how you that. We see it every single day. Every day we see it.
But they're babbling. Nobody's listening to the stupid shit.
You know what the problem is? I'm gonna tell you what the problem is, Mr. Lego. You don't see them as a threat.
I always say that women aren't threatening.
No, they are. They are. Any group of people that come together to push forward an agenda or to stand forward on something are you can't stop them. You cannot stop them.
That's a lie. Unless they got men backing them,
bro. And one of the reasons is that we don't see them as a threat, which makes them even more of a threat. And that's the reason why we finding men on the tail end of trying to play. And you see Save Yourself Black Man and Passport Bros and all of these other types of groups that's coming along, because now guys are banding together in order to get away because we've already let our community fail by not dealing with it accordingly if we want to look at them as children, right? And so, in my opinion, I believe that women are much more of a threat today than any men are, than any group of people, any alphabet community. I think that women are the biggest threat to not only men, but to humanity.
Agreed.
I think
I have a question. And Anton is correct. I don't know where Mr. Let Go's been. You ask Michael Irvin if women are threatening. Ask him. Ask any man that's been unfairly Me Too'd. Ask the men who have spent time in jail off the back of some stuff that a woman did and she walked away and he had to pay for it. Ask if she's a threat. Ask. I don't know where he's been. Then he tries to say, well, without the backing of men. They do have the backing of men. They do. If that's the tipping point, if that's the, the boundary that we're dealing with, particularly Black women have the backing of men. Just because you don't back it don't mean that there's no man backing it. Zaddy has backed her with all of the foolishness that she is doing. She do got backing. That's why it happened. That's why she's dangerous. That's why it's a threat. And to not see that as a threat, that's where we get, the women are not. See, this is why we here at this critical point, at this critical moment. That's why the utilization of Black women as a weapon to infiltrate white supremacy within the Black community and within the Black household, that's why it was such a good idea, because Black men in general won't see her as a threat until it's too late. He won't see her as the ops until she got the gun to his head. Oh, you the ops. Yeah. That's been the problem. You ask any man whose life had to be taken, whose livelihood had to be taken, who had to be canceled off of the back of a woman's lie or off the back of her pillow talking with your ops. The vast majority of the shootings that go on in the Black community can typically be traced back to some chick somewhere. And the domino effect of some stuff she did. You ask if women are a threat when ask the guy that a few months ago, she's butting the line all in Dunkin' Donuts. That man ain't even did nothing. She called her man. He come take that boy life. He ain't even do nothing. And women aren't a threat. You know what? You know what? I'm going to leave it here. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonite.